Hey, what's up? It's 12:12 p.m. and it's June 5th, 2007. It's been a while, but I'm still getting comments. I can't believe it. 5 months later, about Saddam Hussein, and the latest one I got here is guess I'm classified in the group of who hate the fact that you say those things. Well, you fat fag, justice is only society's revenge. Don't mourn. I dunno the word is right for Saddam, for in his mind you helped kill him, and try looking other people's point of view and see how evil you and America can be viewed as. Guess I think revenge is not that wrongable, for to me you and all other Americans death fit well in justice for Saddam. First of all, I'm not American, I'm Canadian. If you look at my other posts, it would be obvious. Second of all, I'm guessing English is not your first language. Third of all, that sounds like a threat. I can't believe anything that I would say here could make somebody so angry as to actually threaten me with my life. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. What is more violence going to accomplish? Saddam was killed 6 months ago, and Iraq is no different than it was 6 months ago. So what good was it? There was nothing. There's nothing good of it. There's absolutely not one single solitary positive benefit that came out of that. None. And so for anybody to, first of all, to call me a fat fag, well, whatever, my wife will be disappointed to hear that. But it's not the first time, won't be the last time. I mean, you know, the personal attacks and stuff don't bother me. They never have, they never will. And I would sincerely hope that we would raise the level of discourse and argument on this to where we could argue specific policies. So, zoiaozoio, or whatever your name is, you didn't even have the sack to man up and put your name on there. Tell me what you really think about, like, what's your solution to the situation? What do we do? Because I don't want American troops in Iraq. I don't want American troops anywhere that stirring the pot and causing problems and dying for a multinational corporation, because that's what's happening. They're not fighting for freedom. This isn't 1938 as much as anybody would like to believe. It's 1972 all over again, or 1968. It's no different. It's the same bullshit all wrapped up in a different package. Desert instead of jungle. But the parallels are far, far too similar to be ignored now. And I cannot get over looking at speeches back in 1968. Politicians are saying the exact same things in 2007. And in a town like Washington, where nobody looks back, everybody all consistently looks forward. It's amazing to me that this hasn't come back to bite them on the ass sooner than 20 or 30 years later. You're telling me to get off the fence. You're telling me to make a decision, and where do I come down? Well, I come down on the side of humanity. I come down on the side of peace. I come down on the side of tolerance. I come down on the side of hope and joy and laughter and love. I want what everybody wants. I want to live a life that's free of worry, where I can work in my garden and not have to worry about a fucking bomb exploding next to me, or getting shot for walking down the fucking street. That's what I want. That's what anybody wants. To be left alone. The government can be the government, can take care of governmental things, but the very second the government starts to intrude upon your personal life and your personal liberties, It's time for a change. Sometimes revolution, sometimes rebellion is a good and healthy thing. I mean, that's what the founders intended. And even though I'm not American, I've read the Bill of Rights, I've read the Constitution, and there is specific instructions as to what happens when a regime becomes so despotic and so tyrannical that you have no, it is up to the citizenry to throw that government out. And it's unfortunate that people don't read that document, or have stopped believing in it, or have seen it being made as useful as toilet paper in the halls of the White House, because people have become so cynical and jaded, and the high-minded ideals that once were held by a group of people starting a country are held no longer by politicians who say they uphold those ideals, but in reality are just puppets of conglomerates, of special interests. And in the end, it doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, Independent, it doesn't matter. When you're on a playing field like the presidential race or the Senate or the Congress, by the time you reach there, you're already corrupted. You're already beholden to special interests. You're already so steeped and so soaked in their money and their influence that you don't have a mind of your own anymore. And your staff tells you what to think anyway. So you ask me where I come down. Well, I don't come down on the side of the American government. I don't come down on the side of the Canadian government. I come down on the side of the people. I always have, I always will. And I believe that justice, true justice, is not meted out in executions. True justice is not meted out in secret prisons and torture and in throwing people in jail. Suspension of habeas corpus and basic human rights, I go all the way back to the Magna Carta. I believe in justice, true justice, where the rights of the individual are guaranteed by the government, and the only time a government should ever consider physical force is when those rights are being threatened, and not when their interests are being threatened. And if that had been the reason, then I'd be all for it, but it's not. And I will never ever change my position on that. I will never stop believing in that. I'm for the people, because they deserve better than what they're getting. Everybody. It doesn't matter. Israelis, Palestinians, Iraqis, Iranians, you name it. The Chinese, the North Koreans, anybody. I stand with the regular people who just want to work and live and try to live a normal life, and without war, without terror, without worry, without hatred, without bombs exploding, without governments whipping them into frenzies of patriotic zeal, telling them that God is with us, so who can be against us? That's bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. And I stand against that. I will not be used as cannon fodder. My ideals will not be used as cannon fodder. So, my friend, you have to say what you have to say. And if you can't bring up the level of your discourse, then I don't want anything more to do with you. It's unfortunate, but I don't. If you want to come to me as one person to another, respectfully, then do so. But if you're going to continue insulting me and threatening me, then fuck you. Simple as that.